So this video is all about setting up your 3 Fiat accounts and also your 3 crypto accounts. I saw this picture on the internet and I thought it was quite funny, and this is the story of most people. We all hear of Bitcoin and stuff like that. We do nothing about it because life gets in the way, and then we're acting massively on FOMO. So don't act on fear of missing out. It's a dangerous and powerful emotional drawback that investors have. Anyway, so a couple of notes before we jump on to the internet to show you the exchanges. But basically, you need to understand that if someone targets you, you are going to be hacked. I have a friend who is an ex-IBM hacker, and his job was to go and hack banks. And he basically, he can even hack computers which are air-gapped, i.e. computers not connected to the internet. What he would do is hack into the power network of the building and then hack the computer through the power cord and then detect what keys you're typing. It is absolutely ridiculous how good he is. And it's slightly disconcerting to hear when he basically said, Simon, you can do pretty much anything you want, but at the end of the day, if someone like me targets you, you're screwed. Which is, interesting. So basically, it all depends on the different levels of paranoia, I guess. I mean, if you've only got a couple of hundred or a couple of grand in cryptos, then I really wouldn't worry too much. But obviously, when you start getting into the 6 and 7 figures, you need to start getting a little bit more paranoid, because you are your own bank now. No one else is looking after your wealth. You are looking after your own wealth. So by default, you're going to become quite competent at personal data security. So yeah, that's that's the first bit basically, and I guess the best protection you can have is to tell absolutely no one that you own cryptos. And for those of you, or for those people that know you and know that you are playing with cryptos, just say, yeah, I'm just having a little dabble, having a punt, and just say that you've only got a couple of grand in or whatever. Because at the end of the day, a hacker's not going to target you unless they know you have 7 figures, really. So, which may not be now, but in a couple of years' time, that may be the case. Who knows? Always log in your exchanges with through an incognito browser. I'll show you what that is in a moment, or a VPN, which I'll chat about in a sec. And for obvious reasons, don't log into your exchanges and do your crypto stuff on a computer which you use for other purposes. And depending on how much you have, you could have a separate laptop which you only use for crypto. And then empty the cache and all the cookies, etc. And you could even air gap it. And 2-factor authentication is absolutely essential. No matter what you do, you absolutely need it. It puts a massive block in the way for anyone trying to phish you or to scam you. And also, virtual private networks are also essential whenever logging into public Wi-Fi's. You'll be surprised at what someone can do to your computer and your data when you log in through a public Wi-Fi, like in Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever. And again, I'll show you what a VPN is. So what I'm going to do is jump out, and we're just going to jump. Okay, so here, jump into a browser. So here we have, I use Google Chrome. And obviously you can have a normal window, etc. Or you can have an incognito one. You simply just go new incognito browser. Or, I guess my friend said it doesn't really matter. You can turn on your VPN. Oh, I need to re-download this. But I use a thing called ExpressVPN. And the thing with virtual private networks, you have 2 types. You have logging VPNs and non-logging VPNs. A logging VPN, basically your activity is stored by the VPN provider. So if the government or banks or anyone that wants to know what you're doing, they simply go to the VPN provider. So you need to get a non-logging VPN. So I use ExpressVPN, and also it's really good because you can you can stream stuff online, because what happens with a VPN, you're pinging your IP address around the world. So if you want to act as though you're accessing the internet in New York, you can, or etc. And it's good for when you're in countries which have big firewalls like China, etc. So let's get rid of that, and let's have a look at the fiat currency, fiat exchanges. So the three ones we use are Kraken, Bitstamp, and Coinbase. It's completely your call. As I said, it's probably worth setting up accounts with all three of them and sending, say, 50 quid to each and seeing which one goes through. I personally use Kraken just because everything's all connected with me, but it's horses for courses, really. Also, if you have the champagne problem in the future that you need to extract capital, let's say you have 6 or 7 figures that you need to get back into sterling or euros, etc., it's worth being completely verified up to the yin yang with all of them, so that way you're not hitting any max usage or monthly usage, etc., which I hit with Kraken actually recently. Now, a couple of things. Don't just type in Kraken and then click the first thing you see on Google, because there's loads of cloned sites out there. So basically, people are cloning web exchanges like this and then paying adverts like this. You can see it's an advert to try and get your data, etc. So that is something to be aware of, and you've got to be very careful with. Sometimes, for example, there's one called Bittrex, and instead of an I, they put an L, so it's Blitrex, and that was fooling a load of people, and then people just handing over all their login details, etc. So yeah, that's what happens if you just Google it. So just so you know, the best way to do things is basically bookmark everything. So if I want Kraken, I just always click my bookmark, because I know it's kraken.com. On the login bit, and it's HTTPS. You have to make sure it's always HTTPS. So that's that one. I don't think I have Bitstamp. I think actually, just for shits and giggles, I think I did. Just double check. I don't use Bitstamp. I think, yeah. Also, another thing: don't use automatic fillers, etc. No, I personally haven't used Bitstamp. I don't believe, but yeah, in order to register, you just go to the main site, log in, register. It's pretty simple. So that's that, and then there's Coinbase. Again, whoopsie daisy. Yeah, it's another one which I don't really use. But let's just go back. HTTPS, yeah. So I'll use Kraken properly. I'll show you that properly. But I'm just curious to see. As I don't use it, I'm really not too fast. So it looks like I have signed up for it, but I haven't actually used it. So I have 2FA set up, two-factor authentication on this. This is a little bit different because they're using a mobile thing where they send you a code, a bit like some online banking. New device. Okay, it's going to send me an email. What a chore. 1 second. I'll just go and click that email. Rightio, so this is Coinbase. A lot of people are big fans of Coinbase. I personally don't use it, but this is what it looks like on the dash when you land. So it's laid out a little bit different to some others. So just a quick walk around. Most of it is self-explanatory. So in the top right, you have all your settings and stuff like that, so you can enable your two-factor authentication, etc., and put in your details. Let's just go back to the dashboard. This is the dashboard. As you can see, you can then click buy and sell. Obviously, I haven't added any payment methods, etc., so you basically you can do bank account or credit cards. The last time I checked, they didn't allow it, so they must have updated things. So that's pretty simple. So you simply send your money there, following their instructions, etc., and then it will arrive, and then you can buy stuff. Your accounts. So this is where it will show you everything you have in there. So whether you've got Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or Ether, Litecoin, etc. There's not many cryptos that you can buy via Coinbase. However, what is worth noting is that it has a sister site called GDAX, where you can basically transfer funds freely from Coinbase to GDAX, and GDAX is their crypto exchange, basically. Again, I don't use this, but I know a lot of people do. And again, I'm aware that I'm accessing this on a normal site, so don't worry. The password I used for this was just a random thing, like, I don't know, I love cookies or whatever. Then you have a few tools. So basically, if you want to buy, receive or send stuff, you can, and that's pretty much it. So that's Coinbase for you. So let's log into Kraken. Again, Kraken uses 2FA, but it doesn't use a thing like Google Authenticator or Authy, etc. I'll show you that in a sec, but it just uses another password. So I'm going to log in and I'll see you in a sec. Oh, before I do that, all you need to do to sign up is just click sign up, put your email address and stuff in, and that's it. It really is simple. And then when you log in, then you have to do some other stuff, which I'll show you. One sec. So this is one of my accounts. I've got a few different accounts, but yeah, when you do get in on here to begin with, it's worth going to verified straight away and then start getting verified, because when you sign up, you're tier 0, which means you can't do anything. So you then at the very least need to become tier 1, and when you can do that, or in fact get to tier 2 to 3 very quickly, because at tier 1 you still pretty much can't do anything, because you can't deposit any fiat, any actual like current pounds or euros, etc. So level 2 you can, you can only do 2,000 a day or 10,000 a month. That's good for most people, but it is worth getting all the way up to tier 4. As I said, I hit the problem of, so there's a monthly limit of 500k a month in depositing, and I hit that and that, which is annoying. So, once you get all verified up here, etc., you can, obviously it will show you everything. It's worth going to settings whenever my slow Norfolk internet speeds up, and then setting up your things like your security. So 1 second, nope, I'm in the wrong place. Security is over here, so top right, click security, and then enable 2FA. So yeah, so that's that. Now I won't go any further with this, because in future videos I do show you how to actually buy and sell stuff on Kraken, so I'll leave that for the moment. And now we are going to have a quick look at the 3 crypto exchanges. Remember, we've just looked at the 3 fiat exchanges. Now the 3 main crypto exchanges we're going to look at are KuCoin, Binance, and Bittrex. Now these are the 3 main ones that I use there, and obviously there are a few others, like there's a few smaller ones, etc. But yeah, go to all of these websites. So remember, HTTPS. So Bittrex is bittrex.com, Binance is binance.com, and KuCoin is kucoin.com. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And you simply go to sign up for each one of them, and you simply have to scroll down a long way with this one, and then put your basic details in. So yeah, with KuCoin you'll be signed up in minutes. There's no bans or blocks like with some. Binance and Bittrex every now and again just close their doors because they're getting so many sign-ups. So you just go to the main site, go to register. Again, exactly the same stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's just go. Oh yeah. Let's go back here to see if we've missed anything. And action points First thing is open up an account with a fiat and a crypto exchange. A lot of the tutorials we're using Bittrex and Kraken, and some with Binance. KuCoin is relatively new, so I haven't done any yet, but I will walk you through later on with those. Get Authy, and I'll show you that in a sec, and also get tiered and verified up. There is another video which covers getting Authy, but basically you need to go to the App Store, whether it is your Google or Apple App Store, and then you download it onto your phone, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of tutorials there. But the key thing here is that when you're setting up a 2FA, it gives you like a code, like a 10-digit code. You need to save that in case you lose your phone. So yeah, we'll cover this soon. Right, I hope that makes sense, and I'll see you on the next video. Toodles.